Off the Beaten Path. Off the Beaten Path. Brand new country. And we're not talking that top 40 crap either. This is where you can hear great singers and songwriters, and they just don't have the backing when it comes to labels. Guest interviews and everything from pop country to bluegrass and folk to hip-hop. This is Off the Beaten Path.
Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt. Again, it is another great episode, or at least I hope it's a great episode. I think it's a great episode. Hopefully you agree with me that it's a great episode. I'm overthinking this, aren't I? That's why I don't have relationships for much longer than this. Another great chance for me to introduce you to some up-and-coming country singers from everywhere. Everywhere. I've talked to people from Denmark, for crying out loud. Australia, old hat. Canada, weekly. This week's episode, a boy from the Midwest, so I didn't have to go too far. Ryan Broshear, our special guest for this week. We check in with family members James Otto and the one and only Charlie Parr. We'll also hear from Bart Crow, Kaylee Shore, Lily and Madeline, Cypress Spring, and Shelly Skidmore starts the show off with her tune, Pawn Shop. It's Off the Beaten Path with me, Ben Merritt.
She pushed her wedding ring across the counter. She said, tell me that it's worth more than I think. There's a bus to Baton Rouge, leaves in an hour, and $90 cash buys me a seat. That quarter-carat picture perfect dream wasn't all it was cracked up to be. But it ain't stolen, it ain't hot. Someone told me it costs a lot. Man, ain't that the truth? I thought I'd wear it my whole life. It never even crossed my mind back when it was new. It ended up in a pawn shop on Charlotte Avenue. He walked in with it slung over his shoulder. He said, man, you'll never give me a fair price. But this young man's town's just watching me get older. And the songs I sing don't feed my kids and wife. There's a few belt buckle scratches on the back, and the B string tends to fall a little flat. But it ain't stolen, it ain't hot. Someone told me it costs a lot. Man, ain't that the truth? I thought I'd play it my whole life. It never even crossed my mind back when it was new. It ended up in a pawn shop on Charlotte Avenue. Dreams don't die even when they're broken. Tomorrow when that sign says open, that guitar or that wedding band will start a new dream, secondhand. It ain't stolen, it ain't hot. Someone told me it costs a lot. Man, ain't that the truth? I thought I'd own it my whole life. It never even crossed my mind back when it was new. It ended up in a pawn shop on Charlotte Avenue.
Please welcome the one and only
Off the Beaten Path with Ben Merritt.
they come, proud of where we from. It might be the middle of nowhere to some, but they ain't gotta like it, and we don't give a damn, cause we ain't gonna change round here, it's a way of life.
Hitting them back roads, round with my kinfolk, ain't much change, we stay the same, them country boys gon' maintain, we run dogs, outlaws, spotlight, big frogs, I hear these mud balls, sitting high on them white walls, we jacked up and I pick ups, got a dime hole in my stick cup, she like it when I hear 4 low, slang rooster tail to the treetop, look at her say let's roll, she look at me and say hell yeah, certified country girl, you know we gon' raise hell and we out here still getting it, backwoods still living it, working hard for what we got, cash flow still spending it, me and my boys turn up to death. Turn down for what? Hop in the Chevy, crank it up, hit a back road. We
rowdy as they come, proud of where we from. It might be the middle of nowhere to some, but they ain't gotta like it, and we don't give a damn, cause we ain't gonna change round here, it's the way of life. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, this ain't the city. Oh, round here, it's the way of life. Oh, hell no. Oh, y'all ain't ready. Round here, it's the way of life.
and that old back road, keep swerving around these tall pines. Find a spot, pop a top and take a sip of that apple pie. I just love the slow pace of living down south. Hope I die of old age and buried right here at the house. But in my bloodline, my last name ain't shit changed about me. With that shotgun, ain't got the aim, keep drinking till I can't see. Living way back in the sticks, now I'm good right where I'm at. Y'all city folk keep rolling on, hey, y'all ain't got to come back.
Yeah, I'm country as a blue tick. Boy, I thought I told y'all ain't riding with no new chick. I'm rolling with my road dog. Way on past the railroad tracks, there's a road up in the back. It winds around away from town and windows down to a 2-path. Ride around in the flatwoods, sipping on that egg good. We jack 'em up and tack 'em out, ride 'em out like a lag should. All my life I've been broke like white trash is a big joke. We grew up counting them fence posts and taking care of our
Rowdy
kin
as they
folks.
come, proud of where we from. It might be the middle of nowhere to some, but they ain't gotta like it, and we don't give a damn, cause we ain't gonna change round here, it's the way of life. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, this ain't the city. Oh, round here, it's the way of life. Oh, hell no. Oh, y'all ain't ready. Oh, round here, it's the way of life.
Clean up mud through the countryside, tearing up jars of that apple pie. Ain't a damn thing changed, we stay the same. It's a country boy way of life. Kicking up dust, just me and my crew. Keg full of beer with nothing to do. Sitting back, watching time fly. It's a country boy way of life.
Rowdy as they come, proud of where we from. It might be the middle of nowhere to some, but they ain't gotta like it, and we don't give a damn, cause we ain't gonna change round here, it's the way of life. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, this ain't the city. Oh, round here, it's the way of life. Oh, hell no. Oh, y'all ain't ready. Oh, round here, it's the way of life.
Off the Beaten Path podcast, me, Ben Merritt. There you go. Average Joe's recording artist at Cypress Spring, featuring the Lax and Danny Boone. The Lax are family members here on the show. And Danny Boone, he's on my short list to chat with. He's from Rehab. He worked along with Demon Jones on that project. And yeah, just basically good stuff coming out of there. Had to get a little bit of hip hop. It's been a little while since I've thrown some hip hop at you. So hopefully you enjoyed that and didn't mind it too much. Cypress Spring, again, that is off their EP, also titled Way of Life. So there you go. Ben Merritt hanging out with you here on this episode of Off the Beaten Path. Again, this is a great opportunity for you to learn about some up-and-coming singers, songwriters, country artists, and, well, I mean, hip-hoppers even, too. So stick around. We'll talk to Ryan Broshear, singer-songwriter out of Indiana. Ohio? No, he's out of Ohio. Excuse me. He's from Ohio. These girls are from Indiana, Indianapolis to be specific. This is Lily and Madeline off the album Keep It Together. Here is Hourglass. It's Off the Beaten Path with me, Ben Merritt.
Try to make the time go faster. Don't know what it is you're after. Please don't rush. Every second, ever changing. Always on a record playing. And it's too much. Rain falling hard
Do you know a band Ben doesn't? Tell us who you are digging on Facebook.com/OTBP Podcast, Twitter @OTBP Podcast, or email OTBPpodcast@gmail.com.
Been waiting all week for the weekend. There's a buzz in the air, don't you feel it? A kiss on your lips, wanna steal it. Come on, pretty baby, don't you say no. How we gonna fly if we lay low? Don't know what we're missing if we don't go. Somewhere tonight, music's playing, bonfires blazing like a Vegas sky. Somewhere tonight, dance floors rocking, no sign of stopping till the morning light. Somewhere tonight, let's go. Somewhere tonight, let's go. Somewhere tonight. Girl, I'm the gas, you're the matches. Let's fire up a little bit of magic. Don't you wanna see what's happening? Somewhere tonight, music's playing, bonfires blazing like a Vegas sky. Somewhere tonight, dance floors rocking, no sign of stopping till the morning light. Somewhere tonight, let's go. Somewhere tonight, let's go. Somewhere tonight, anywhere you wanna go, any place you wanna be. Don't give a damn what we do if it's you and me. Anywhere you wanna go, any place you wanna be. Don't give a damn what we do as long as it's you and me. Somewhere tonight, somewhere tonight, music's playing, bonfires blazing like a Vegas sky. Somewhere tonight, dance floors rocking, no sign of stopping till the morning light. Somewhere tonight, let's go. Somewhere tonight, let's go. Somewhere tonight.
Off the Beaten Path podcast, me, Ben Merritt. There you go, Mr. James Otto, and the tune that got him on the show as a family member. That was Somewhere Tonight. James is still out there. He's doing his thing. He's writing songs left and right, making sure that his voice is still being heard, whether it be through his own or through the written word that other singers are writing as well. He's just one of the examples of, again, the great library, archive, the back catalog, per se, of the show. Make sure that you check it out, otbppodcast.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter as well, OTBP Podcast, for both of those, and on Instagram as well. Again, I tried to make it as easy as possible. So go check out the back catalog. All kinds of great artists out there trying to introduce themselves to you, and I'm just trying to facilitate it. So had this guy a few times on the show, and I don't plan on stopping it because, well, he's amazing. And he's pretty much just independent, doing his own thing. And his name is Charlie Parr. This is off the brand new album by the same name. This is the title track. Here is Stump Jumper. It's Charlie Parr here on Off the Beaten Path as we check in with some former family members.
Well, weekend's almost here. I can feel it from Thursday. All my friends are getting wound up. Getting up some money, getting us a bottle, and getting my Bronco gassed up. We are stump jumpers, we are cross-tie walkers, we are grown-up kids of the working class. And I work when I can, and I ain't got no money, and I may look rough, but I'm an honest man. Say I don't know what I'll do tomorrow, and I don't know what I'll do tomorrow, and I don't know what I'll do tomorrow, and I don't know what I'll do
Off the Beaten Path.
Sounds great on my iPod. It's on my phone, on my iPad.
I always listen on my computer at work.
Log on and listen. Like us on Facebook. Search for OTBP Podcast to join the conversation. Follow Off the Beaten Path on Twitter at OTBP Podcast.
Off the Beaten Path Podcast with me, Ben Merritt. Again, it is a pleasure. It's a great pleasure for me to get to meet and chat with some of the up-and-coming faces and names in country music, because if it wasn't a pleasure for me to do it, I wouldn't have started this podcast. I didn't do it because someone told me to. I did it because I saw that there was a need. There were artists out there that don't get enough airtime on radio. They don't get enough recognition on CMT and in all the publications and things like that. And little old me decided that, sometimes these people deserve their more than 15 minutes. So, and I got a guy on the line. I won't hold it against him because I grew up in Ann Arbor, and I didn't tell him that yet. Ryan Broshear on the line. Ryan, how are you, man?
I'm great. You didn't tell me that, man. I don't know. Can this go on?
I have talked to other Ohio-based country music artists before, and we've been okay. So
okay. I'm good with it if you're good with it.
Okay, good. Yeah, I grew up in Ann Arbor from about age 12 until I moved to northern Wisconsin about 8 years ago. So it's just putting that out there just in case that was a problem for you. I'm fine.
I'm not a problem at all. I love Michigan.
Okay, good.
I've had some great times fishing in Michigan, and nothing but love for Michigan.
All right, good. Ryan, I also didn't tell you about this. We've got a couple icebreaker questions I like to throw at the guests right off the top here at the on the show. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Question number 1, and feel free to be as specific or non-specific, just in case you're worried about people coming and finding you or something. All right. Question number 1 is, where are you right now?
I'm in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Yeah, see, he says that because he won't be there when the show airs. So, and question number 2, and this is one that I'm really starting to fall in love with because it shows depth to, or maybe not. Maybe you're a dedicated traditional country fan. If we were to hit eject in your truck or turn your iPod on or whatever, fire up your Spotify account, what was the last thing you were listening to?
Randy Rogers Band's new album.
Yeah. The Neon album?
Shine Like Neon.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a pretty good album. I like it.
I'm about my third time through. I'm loving it.
I've also not been able to stop the Brothers Osborne's new one, the Pawn Shop.
They got a killer sound. I haven't gotten that one yet. I bought Hank Williams Jr.'s new album and then the Randy Rogers Band, so I'm going to get through those first.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would fault you for picking Bocephus either. So
no, I had to check that. I always buy his stuff. It's not always what you expect, but I always have to buy the Bocephus.
There you go. All right. Well, as we mentioned, Ryan is from Ohio. He is a Buckeye, which it's a show about country music. Obviously, your sports team's affiliation doesn't mean anything unless, of course, you're writing songs about, Terrell Pryor or Urban Meyer or something like that. So, but he's Ohio boy, so therefore he's got plenty country in him. But it's a small town that you come from. Tell us a little bit about Oxford.
Oxford, Ohio is it's a small town that gets smaller when the students leave. It's where Miami University of Ohio is. And just a little bit outside of the main small town area is this little country area called Riley, Ohio. And that's where I grew up at. I grew up on a horse farm. We had all kinds of animals, but I was in FFA and 4-H and barrel-raised horses, and my grandfather raised Angus cattle, and so I did my share of baling hay and, spending time out on the farm. And my favorite thing to do in town, before I was out cruising and burning rubber on the streets, was playing in the woods and doing fishing whenever I could. And so it was a great place to grow up. I'm really proud to be from a small town.
I mean, before I moved to Ann Arbor, I was from a small town too, and you're right. It is, you got to find your own fun before bars are legal for you. You got to get out in the woods and enjoy, nature. And I grew up right on the shores of Lake Huron, so it was a lot of
beautiful lake.
Yeah, a lot of swimming, a lot of fishing, getting out in the Boston Whaler boat, doing all that. And I feel like it kind of translates no matter where you are. I mean, If you're in the country in Texas, obviously you find a mud pit and you take an ATV out there. Or, I mean, there's all kinds of different ways to say that same phrase geographically wherever you are in the United States or around the world.
Absolutely. I mean, I think when you and there's small towns in every state all over this country, and I've been blessed to see a lot of them. And it's interesting how creative people can be when they're trying to find something fun to do. That's where the rednecks are.
Heck yeah, and that's the thing. Everyone tells you what to do when you're at work. When you're not at work, that's when the creativity comes out. That's the best part. Ryan, again, you mentioned that Miami, Ohio is right there in Oxford. You're a Red Hawk, right?
Well, when I was there, they were called the Redskins.
Oh.
They have moved to the Red Hawks, which is cool. But we grew up, kind of with it being the Redskins. And but I know that there's a lot of teams that have kind of changed from the Native American references. And but yeah, I'm a Red Hawk, and it's when Ben Roethlisberger was overlapped my time there, and
now was
cool
he
that he kind of put our team on the map for a little bit.
Was he younger than you, or was he an upperclassman? Was he about ready to hit the NFL?
I'd say he's probably about the same age, maybe a little younger, maybe a little older than me. I'm not real sure exactly how old. I was on my way out, and he was there doing his thing. So
gotcha. All right, that makes sense. All right, but it's in the on the campus and in the town and around the town that you kind of cut your chops in the world of country music. Obviously, you and a buddy got out there and hit the bars. I mean, that's the best way. That's the way that I find a lot of country artists get that instant feedback. It was Twitter before Twitter was Twitter.
Yeah. Well, being on stage was what hooked me to wanting to be a country music artist, and getting the opportunity to go out and play for people on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. There was often times we were packing bars, just me and another guy playing guitars 3 nights a week, and but it just partying and the atmosphere and the people and the stories, and some you want to remember, some you can't, but it just was a good opportunity to learn how to entertain people and how to sing a song and deliver it to a crowd of people and make them hear what you're saying and get them into the fun of the evening.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a great way for somebody to go, okay, this works, this doesn't work, this is something that's going to be in my repertoire for a while. This was a one-off. It's a great way for somebody to start to read a crowd, and you learn a lot of skills working a bar.
Yeah, you do, and you have to learn them fast, because if you're not keeping the crowd, then you're not keeping your gig. And so you learn real quick. Keep them on the floor, keep them drinking beer, and the more they drink with you, the more profits the bar's making, and the more they want to pay you. But back when I first got started, I think they were paying me like $75 or $75 a night with a packed room, and I didn't care back then. I was like, well, wow, I got paid to do this. This is awesome. And that's kind of like how it grew on me and how I grew into it.
There you go. And it seems to work because it's paying off dividends. Billboard Top 10 Most Artists to Watch 2014. That's probably not the right title, but that's a heck of an accomplishment from one of the big publications in the industry.
That was an incredible news. We actually were meeting with some friends in New York to discuss future touring that we went on to do up in upstate New York when we heard that news, and I was just very humbled to be included with that list. I think the year before, Casey Musgraves had been one of those artists, and you've seen where she's gone on, and there's some others that have gone on as well.
She's opening for George Strait this coming year, so that's kind of a big deal.
Well, yeah. But, so, I mean, that worked out good. What is she doing, the rodeo? But anyway, it's just to be in that circle and mentioned by that outstanding publication is, a huge feather in your hat, and just I couldn't take more pride in that. I had been working really, really hard, and you don't know that you're getting noticed. You just go out and work hard and, have fun and do it for the fans. And then to see that Nashville and Billboard was paying attention and saw that, it was an incredible experience.
All right. Well, Ryan, you and I are not done talking yet. We'll come back and actually talk about more fun outdoors. But first, let's talk about the tune Friday Night in a Small Town, and then we'll take a listen to it.
Yeah, Friday Night in a Small Town was a song that had been kind of sitting in my songbook for a little while, and I needed the right co-writer on it. I got to write that song with my producer, Daniel Agee, who, plays lead guitar for Joe Nichols as his band leader. But we grew up in the same town, and we experienced that same stuff in that town. And so I had kind of written half or three-quarters of the song, and but the part that I started with, there was a friend of mine that was we called him Cowboy, and he just represented just as down-home country cowboy as you can get in Ohio, and like he had been a rancher in Wyoming. But him and his girlfriend and I and went out. We all went out one night drinking and just partying, and just I got thinking, like, man, this kind of couple, these people right here represent, what a young country couple are all about, and like raising hell, and and I coupled that with my experience from growing up in Oxford, and we just kind of wrote this song about painting the town red, going out on a Friday night. You don't know what kind of trouble you're going to get into, but having a good time. And there's a line in it that said, "We can't get lost in this town, because we know everything around here." And it just, I think it represents what a lot of people that in the small town know and experienced. And so that's where it was all born. I was really glad that Dan got to help me finish writing it, and it turned out awesome.
Well, that's awesome. We'll talk about the new EP, and we'll talk about getting outdoors as much as you can. But first, here we go. We've got it. It's Friday Night in a Small Town. Ryan Broshear here on Off the Beaten Path with me, Ben Merritt.
You like your guitar swinging, so I had that country banging out of the speakers when I picked you up. Thinking about this all week, honey, I've got my paycheck money, shiny buckle and my boots cuffed up. Girl, you looking good, damn, drop dead fine. Climb on in, let's go for a ride. 'Cause it's Friday night in a small town, baby. Buckle up, it might get crazy. No telling what kind of trouble we could get into. Well, light 'em up on Main and make 'em all talk, or bank it by the creek and cool the summer night off. Paint it red or burn it right to the ground. Friday night in a small town. Uptown the club is bumping with a little something, something. That glass you're tipping has about run dry. They got the music playing, but if you don't feel like staying, say the word, off we'll fly. Girl, you got that sexy little look in your eyes. Let's kick this night into overdrive. 'Cause it's Friday night in a small town, baby. Buckle up, it might get crazy. No telling what kind of trouble we could get into. We'll light 'em up on Main and make 'em all talk, or bank it by the creek and cool the summer night off. Paint it red or burn it right to the ground. Friday night in a small town. We can't get lost on these streets. No one knows any more than you and me. We're young, restless, wild and free, and nights like these weren't meant to sleep. 'cause it's Friday night in a small town, baby. Buckle up, it might get crazy. There's no telling what kind of trouble we could get into. Well, light 'em up on Main and make 'em all talk, or just bank it by the creek and cool this summer night off. Paint it red or burn it right to the ground. Friday night in a small town. Friday night in a small town. In a small town.
So there you have it. I feel like that's probably a country anthem a little bit right there. That is Friday Night in a Small Town. Ryan Broshear here on the line. Ryan, how are you, man?
I'm wonderful, man.
Still?
Just having a good time hanging with you, man.
Still surviving down there. I mean, we were talking off air. You're in the Nashville area right now, and it's a little cold and a little snowy down there. I know you're not bothered by it, but the locals, the natives, they're probably a little more bothered by it.
Oh, when snow or ice gets in the forecast, it's just everything panics, and the gas stations line up, and you can't find milk or bread. I don't know how people survive on just milk and bread. I never get that. But it just panic sets in, and the White Death is coming, and I think people that like me that have grown up with it being just part of winter life, we just sit back and laugh, and we let them go get in the ditch, and then we just cruise on by, steady speed, and wave at them and pull them out if we can.
I think the milk and bread thing. I did talk to a Southerner not too long ago where they were like, we Southerners, we can't go a snowstorm without our French toast. So that's probably what they're doing is milk, eggs, and bread. They're making French toast during the snowstorms.
Well, maybe that's what it is. Now I know.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe it if they hadn't have told me first either. We Midwesterners, we're used to it, but whatever.
Yeah. As long as we got beer in the fridge, right?
Right? Oh, that's the most important. Well, it doesn't even have to be in the fridge. It can be out in the snow now.
Oh, yeah, just put it on the back porch.
Ryan Broshear, speaking of being outside, man, you're outside as much as you're in a studio or in a bar or working with your guitar, I'm sure. You were telling me off air that you're an avid fisherman and kayaker. I don't like to say that I'm an avid kayaker, but up here in northern Wisconsin, I have been crowned the fastest DJ on the water in our local celebrity kayaking race.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. Granted, there was only one other DJ, and he's in his late 50s. I'm just semantics.
But you're pretty much a legend.
Yeah, semantics on that. I mean, I'm still the fastest radio DJ in northern Wisconsin for the last 2 years running. So I'm just saying. You probably do a lot more.
Heavy weight to carry on your shoulders.
I'm just saying.
I know as a champion you can do it.
There's a crown, there's a crown and all that, but it's fine. I'm sure that you do way more difficult and a lot more kayaking than I do, definitely, right?
I do more of the slow kayaking and make sure I hit every log on the side and every good-looking fishing spot because I like to fish from my kayak.
Oh, you're just as good as I am. God.
Yeah, I'm slow and steady, but if I'm pulling in a fish on the line, it's fine with me.
The current's doing just as much, if not more, work than I am when I go kayaking. So. But fly fishing seems to be your game of choice out in the wide world of outdoors.
Yeah, I love to fly fish. I especially like fly fishing for trout. But there's some salmon runs up north that that I'll hit every now and then. Nothing beats having a 30-pound fish on a 12-pound test line on a fly rod and fighting it through a river. That's a good time.
Heck yeah.
But there's some good smallmouth areas up there where you guys are at too, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah. We've got a lot of bass up here. Up here specifically. Right now, though, it's all ice fishing, man. You got to drill through 12 inches of ice just to get to the crappies and the bluegills.
I want to do that. I would love for one of your listeners sometime to hit me up and let's find a way to do that. I don't know how it happened. I've never ice fished, but it sounds to me like a total blast.
You're from Ohio and you've never ice fished?
Well, I'm from the South, Southern Ohio.
Yeah.
It doesn't really freeze up enough to really get out and ice fish where I grew up at. That kind of ice just gets in the way, so you're kind of waiting for spring melt. But I definitely want to try ice fishing.
All right. Well, there you go, folks. Tweet at him, at Ryan Broshear, and you'll be able to maybe hook him up on an ice fishing trip. And well, heck, while we're talking about it, let's just do it right now. This is the Pip Yourself portion of the show, sir. Tell everybody how they can get in touch with you on Twitter, Facebook, use your website, all that kind of stuff right now.
Hit me up at Ryan Broshear on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and RyanBroshear.com, and I'm on YouTube as well.
See, it makes it easy. You know, you got to just love that stuff, right?
We keep it real.
Yeah. I mean, nobody wants to figure out. It's at Ryan Broshear Music on Twitter, but on Facebook, it's at Ryan Broshear Official. No, they don't want that. They just want, it's Ryan Broshear. Just look for Ryan.
At Ryan Broshear.
Well, the new EP is out. It's called Paint It Red. 6 tracks on it. And the way that I told you how I felt about it was it feels like a great set of music. It's got the whole gamut of how you're supposed to feel emotionally when you listen to music. And that's kind of what I like. You know, you got the fun, upbeat stuff, but you've also got a love tune in there. And it's a great way to kind of introduce yourself to a bunch of people right now.
We kind of set it up like a mini set list, you know, kind of like high energy in the beginning, a tender moment, kind of a sad, melancholy song, and then we picked it back up and brought it out with a lot of energy, and that's kind of how we set it up. We wanted it to be a good mix to kind of take you through, even though it's only 6 songs, to take you through that range of emotion in the music.
Yeah, and like I said, it definitely has that. It makes you kind of go, what's this Ryan Broshear guy all about? And you just go, this is what I'm all about. And it's perfect.
Boom.
Yeah, there you go. Paint It Red is kind of a play off of the song that we heard earlier, Friday Night in a Small Town, right?
Yes.
Nice.
And we had some recurring themes of kind of small town life and life on it, and kind of leaving your mark, you know, when you as you're living life in a small town and making a little bit of noise. So sometimes you got to paint the town red. That's what it all was about.
Based off of what you've been telling me, sir, I feel like you have a bit of a legacy in Oxford. Is that what I'm picking up here?
A little bit.
All right, we won't go too far into it so that you don't have to incriminate the innocent.
I had plenty of fun, and we still get to go back and play every now and then, and I try not to leave my hometown fans out of the loop for too long, and I look for excuses to go back home and drink a cold beer and play for them.
There you go. All right. Well, Ryan, it's almost that time for us to play the single that you've released to Country Music Radio. Tell us about Spin Me.
Yeah, Spin Me was a great opportunity for me to be able to go into a writing session with my producer, Dan Agee, and I kind of, in my mind, going into it, wanted to have a song about young love and kind of the beginning of a relationship. That was kind of a target for me, but I hadn't written anything yet, and he played for me the first part of Spin Me that he had started and written, and he just laid a lyric sheet out in front of me, played the chords, and said, this is kind of what I was thinking, and he gave me his version of the melody, looped it around, I sang what he had, and it was just an instant fit, and I was like, oh, this is it, this is the song, and I was able to help him finish it. We knocked it out pretty quickly and kind of fine-tuned it, but I knew right from the start that this was a song that I wanted to put on an album, and I had strong feelings right from the start that I wanted to send this to radio. And of course, once we got it back from completing the album, it was like, yes, this is awesome. And it's just a song about a new relationship and that love and that girl you can't get out of your head, and she just keeps going through your head like your favorite song, around and around. And that's where this song was born, and real proud of it.
All right. Well, Ryan, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. It's been a pleasure meeting you. And don't be a stranger. Definitely keep in touch with us. But right now, though, it's time to kick you out of here so we can play the song, all right?
All right, brother. Well, hey, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Thanks to all your listeners. And I'll see you down the road.
All right. There you go. Ryan Broshear here, Off the Beaten Path with me, Ben Merritt. Here it is. This is the single. This is Spin Me.
I've got no plans yet this evening. Got an empty glass and an empty bed. There's no doubt I could go out, have a hell of a time chasing other girls, but you're the only one stuck in my head. You turn me on like a radio. I hear your song everywhere I go. I sing along and get lost in your melody. Your beat is strong straight to my heart. I feel it even when we're apart. Your record plays, and that's where I wanna be. Turn it up, 'cause baby you spin me. You spin me. I know you've got all those players, but they don't know what you wanna hear. They keep on trying to creep on, but that's a tune you've heard too many times. I wanna be the music to your ears, 'cause you turn me on like a radio. I hear your song everywhere I go. I sing along and get lost in your melody. Your beat is strong straight to my heart. I feel it even when we're apart. Your record plays, and that's where I wanna be. Turn it up, 'cause baby you spin me. Your hands in mine, our bodies turn in time, spinning around and around. 'Cause you turn me on like a radio. I hear your song everywhere I go. I sing along and get lost in your melody. Your beat is strong straight to my heart. I feel it even when we're apart. Your record plays, and that's where I wanna be. Turn it up, crank it loud, let's blow those speakers out, yeah. Turn it up, 'cause baby you spin me. You spin me, yeah.
Brand new country has a home.
Hey! Time for some music now.
Off the Beaten Path.
He's calling out my name. He says I'm just a feather away. He thinks the slightest breeze could blow me over. What he doesn't know is I've got a got my high heels on, my boxing gloves. I can knock you out with the 1-2 punch. I'm perfume sweet and whiskey strong. I damn sure ain't no underdog. I might fall down, but I get back up. I shine brightest when the going's tough. You say I can't, well darling, watch me. You can't stop me 'cause I fight like a girl. Little but I'm loud, just wanna make my mama proud. And you can tell without a doubt that I'm her daughter. She raised me to believe that I can be anything. So when you push me out, just push back harder. I got my high heels on, my boxing gloves. I can knock you out. I'm perfume sweet and whiskey strong. I damn sure ain't no underdog. I might fall down, but I get back up. I shine brightest when the going's tough. You say I can't, well darling, watch me. You can't stop me 'cause I fight like a girl. Fight hard, I fight tough, I fight fair. Won't stop fighting till I get there. No, I ain't afraid to cry. Everybody's gotta feel something sometimes. Fight hard, I fight tough, I fight fair. Won't stop fighting till I get there. No, I ain't afraid to cry. I ain't afraid to fight. Got my high heels on with my boxing gloves. I can knock you out with the 1-2 punch. Perfume sweet and whiskey strong. I damn sure ain't no underdog. I might fall down, but I get back up. And I shine brightest when the going's tough. You say I can't, well darling, watch me. You can't stop me 'cause I fight like a girl. Fight hard, I fight tough, I fight fair. Won't stop fighting till I get there. No, I ain't afraid to fight. Fight like a girl.
Off the Beaten Path podcast, me, Ben Merritt. There you go, Callie Shore, and Fight Like a Girl. She is a brand new artist on my radar, but she's definitely on my short list for trying to get on the show here. She's a singer-songwriter living in Nashville right now, and she's got a big following on YouTube. According to her website, she's got 1.5 million views and just over 10,000 subscribers. She's been all over the place on the internet. She's doing 200 shows a year, and I can see nothing wrong with the way that she is attempting to break into country music. And as a matter of fact, a mixtape, aka an EP, coming out in spring 2016. So keep your eyes open for that as we just entered into the spring season. Ben Merritt hanging out with you here on Off the Beaten Path. We're going to talk about this guy. He's a bit of a big name for himself as well. Bart Crow coming up in just a little bit. But first, let's hear from him. From the parade, Life Comes At You Fast here on Off the Beaten Path with me, Ben Merritt.
She was 17, homecoming queen, star of the senior class. Now she's working for tips in East LA. Life comes at you fast. Number 19, young and mean, he threw the winning pass. But a busted knee will kill your dreams. Life comes at you fast. You can't catch tomorrow. You can't outrun your past.
Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt. There you go, Bart Crow from The Parade, the brand new album that is out from him. This is his single, the most recent release. I don't know. I mean, this is the song that he wants you to hear the most. And life comes at you fast, and well, that's pretty much words to live by. So again, Bart Crow, he is out there making a big name for himself, hailing from Austin, Texas, with a little bit over like a half dozen albums. I mean, yeah, a half dozen sounds about right. He is a name that you should know coming out of Texas, and that's the thing about those Texas artists. I mean, they live under the radar until all of a sudden you're a big fan of them. And then you're like, where was this guy? And why haven't I heard him before? Well, now you can say that you've heard Bart Crow here on Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt. Again, thank you very much for joining us this week, and hopefully you can find some time to check out the old stuff, otbppodcast.com, to help guide your tour off the beaten path. Also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's easy. Just search for OTBP Podcast. And again, it's easy to follow along and make new friends and find your next favorite song. So, again, join us every week right here for brand new stuff. Coming up again next week, the one and only 4-time Grammy nominee. This is probably the only opportunity I'll ever be able to say I got to talk to a Grammy nominee. Miss Brandy Clark. She has written some of the biggest songs in country music over the last couple of years. And she is definitely a name and a voice that you should be listening to. Brandy Clark is written for Miranda Lambert, Casey Musgraves, just so many names, Reba, George Strait. I think, there's just so many names that she's written for. And we touch on that next week here on Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt. Again, go find some new music. And if you do find some stuff, make sure you get in touch with me, otbppodcast@gmail.com, and let me know what you're listening to. That's going to do it for this week. Again, thank you to Ryan Broshear. Thank you very much for checking us out. And we'll see you next week with Brandy Clark here on Off the Beaten Path podcast with me, Ben Merritt. Bye-bye.